Raiders of Sulu is a documentary film produced by Oak3 Films, based on Singapore for Q Channel, Discovery Channel, and National Geographic for international release. Oak3 Films was established during 1996. It was founded by Zahrat Banakotelli along with Lim Swat Yin and Jason Lai. The Oak3 film entered the international market in 2003 with a documentary co-produced with Discovery Asia named The Gods Must Be Hungry. The documentary film Raiders of Sulu, it has 48 minutes and 43 seconds duration time. The documentary talks about the Muslim raiders of the Sulu region, namely the Ilanuns, Balangingi Samals, and the Tausugs, and how they protected their business, religion, culture, and power during Spanish colonization. It also discusses the culture of slave raiding of the Muslim tribes and how they use it as a form of retaliation on the colonizers.
Advance of the film in understanding the grand narrative of Philippine history about raiders of the Sulu Sea. When the Spaniards colonized Zamboanga City in 16th century, because of its geographical advantage that made it vulnerable to Catholic Spaniards. There were three tribes coming from the southern Philippines who tried to resist the role of Spanish colonizers. First was the Ilanun, who was known as fierce and barbaric in maritime ports in Sultanate. They were a very important tribe and Persian history. The Ilanun raided not only coastal Philippines but also far out into the South China Sea. The second tribe was the Samal Balangingi. They are experts living group. They are one of the Samal communities that originally inherited the Tongkil Island group. They were relocated to Zamboanga Peninsula coasts, an island as a result of the 1848 military campaign. The last tribe, Tausug tribe, who controlled the Sulu Sultanate, but they are known for its fierce and widespread political powers.
How the raiders of Sulu Sea becomes powerful. As a maritime raiding in the Philippines predated the first Spanish incursion in the region in the 16th century, but was aggravated by the protracted conflict between the Spanish colonizer and the Muslim of the southern Philippines from 1565 to 1898, as well as by the region integration into the global commercial system of the early modern period and the influx of European firearms to the region through of the 3.5 century of conflict between the Spanish and population of the southern Philippines. Maritime raiding play a key role not only for the accumulation of wealth and slaves but also as a means of warfare and anti-colonial resistance.
The two reasons why the raiders attacked the Sulu region, and these two are mainly the social and economic. First, for the social well-being of the raiders, the reason behind it is to prevent the spread of Christianity and to strengthen the influence of Islam. And for the second one is for the economic, is that to continue to control the trade market and survive of the goods and the slaves they are able to obtain. Retaliation against the foreign occupiers. The film talked about the slave raiding of these tribes as they retaliated and fought against the colonizers. I've learned that the fourth power was built by the Spaniards to discourage potential invaders. This fort was base of operations to attract slaver raiding to the north and coming back. It's amazing how the tribe initially took over the fort as they really had to surpass the Spanish presence as the slave raiding became more rampant when the Spaniard came.
Reason behind the attacks of the raiders in political view and the relevance of the documentary in modern time. First, we have the gap between Christians and Muslims still exists even contemporary times. Throughout the nearly 15 centuries of Muslim Christian encounter individual adherents in both traditions often have lived peaceably with each other. At the same time, Muslim expansion into Christian territories and Christian imperialism in Muslim land have fostered fear and ill will both side. Repercussion from the crusades continue to resound in the contemporary rhetoric employed by defenders of both faiths. In recent years, relation between Muslim and Christian across the globe have become increasingly polarized, fanned by anti-Islamic rhetoric and fair monitoring. Moreover, conflicts in Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and elsewhere far from 20th century were often labeled as ethnic, political, or ideological perpetuation of long-standing struggles over land power and influence. These conflicts now tend to be labeled in accord with a specifically religious affiliation of their participation. Relevance of the film in understanding of Philippine history. The film shows how the united force of the Moros were able to take down the military defense fortress built by the Spanish colonial government. The film showed why the Moros resist the rules of Spaniards in Zamboanga, as well as the reasons behind the desire of the Spaniards upon colonizing the Philippines.
Territorial disputes and power imbalance are still evident nowadays, even with the presence of diplomats, organizations such as United Nations. When it comes to territorial disputes across the globe, the list is long and ever-changing. There are now more than 150 disputes underway that involve territory, mostly Africa, Asia, and the Pacific region, but also in Europe and the Americas as United Nations exist. As a way toward resisting any argument among countries regardless of territory and provide peacekeeping actions, the interest of the colonizers about power and authority is the only evidence that territory disputes still exist.